What's up, boys? Welcome back to the vlog, and today we're in one of my personal favorite cars of all time, but I've never driven it. How can it be your favorite car without you ever driving it? Well, I like it for looks, and it sounds nice. We are in a 2021. Now it's a couple years old, but the 2022s, 3s, and 4s are the exact same. Audi RS5. And this car is one of my favorite looking vehicles I've ever seen. Now, with the newer models, it gets a little interesting, right? The good thing is you still have a shifter. You don't really use it much, but at least you have it. Carbon fiber everywhere. Alcantara inserts. RSs are always gonna have your carbon and your Alcantara inserts on the door. Always a pretty thing. This one is the 4-door Sportback, not the 2-door Coupe Sportback or whatever they consider it. But one thing I will say I don't like is the new Audi steering wheels. I'm not a fan of the rounded ones. I'm not a fan of the full perforated leather. I believe it should be at maybe half with maybe Alcantara or Napa leather, but it's doable, and you can always switch the steering wheel out. So from a build perspective, we could switch this out at any point, and we can give this thing more power and do anything. Without further ado, we're gonna get to driving this car because I'm very excited. This was one of the cars I really wanted to drive because I really wanted to kind of see, how it drove on a daily aspect, but also on a performance aspect. I will say the steering wheel is a lot bigger than I would have imagined. This car is definitely a lot bigger than mine. Ooh, that 6-cylinder sounds really good though. It's a 2.9 liter V6. I think it makes 445. So it's a pretty quick car. It's not the 4.2 liter V8s that they used to have, but it's at least still a pretty high-end performance car, or mid-high-end performance car. Well, they go for like 90 brand new now, don't they? I believe. There, yeah, they're up there now. Just like with the BMW, the M2, the M3s and M4s are up in the 90s now. It's pretty comfortable. I like the seats. It's cozy. It's Audi's pretty much Volkswagen, so it's got the same pedals and everything. So I don't have to readjust to anything like that. Pretty sure we're just in just like a normal mode. I don't know where you toggle modes, drive select, yeah. I'm liking the cockpit. Like, I'm liking this view. Ooh, burbles. Now top, we'll see if we get a little bit of window open for a minute. Oh yeah. Okay. Nothing crazy, but. Oh, you feel the, ooh. You feel the boost build. That's different from the RS3. So the RS3 would go, this one, like when you downshift, you have to let the boost build. It's kind of like my car. Whoa, I was not expecting that actually at all. I can kind of see how the boost builds on a downshift. So let's see. So if I go to third. Oh yeah, okay, all right. It's just like my car. That's actually really neat. It's faster, obviously. But like, what happens is when you downshift, instead of taking off immediately, you have to let the boost build. And then when the boost builds and you accelerate, it basically shoots you like a rocket. Let's see what we got here. Oh, do you feel it though? Yeah. It's almost like a rolling lag. But that feels really sick though. Like, oh, I don't know, that I'm used to that in my car now. Okay. Ooh, I like the little burbles it has. They're not like loud, but they're there. You know what I mean? Like for factory, like they're there. That's awesome. I'll put the window up in a minute, it's starting to get hot. I'll try to do like, well, we do a second. Oh, my goodness. Wow. See the boost? Oh my goodness. Woo! I still kind of like that drive logic though. That had the M2 had. That was pretty sick to get used to. But wow, that's quick. You also have to remember it's a bigger car too, right? Yeah. Not a little tiny sedan or coupe or anything. So it definitely is a larger car, but it's quick. It makes me like wonder how the RS7 feels. That's the boat, you know what I mean? That's the big one. So how does that feel? Because that's a little bit more power than this one, but I mean, even in Ford, just going on and letting off, the little burbles. And what I always do when I drive the performance cars is it's not always about the daily driving, it's about the performance, but I also think about what it would be like if this car was stage 2, like my car. Yeah. Like, what would this car be like if it was stage 2,
50 or 100 horsepower, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, You know, you got this thing at like, you know, like, yeah, 650, 700, and it's popping and banging like crazy. It's loud. Like, I can only imagine. What I would do with a car like this, though, is I would valve the exhaust, so that way you can get some quiet in it, you know. Whoa. I felt the boost build. It was like probably halfway through third gear, and it just kept going. That was awesome. So $4,000, and then right when it hits 5, you can feel the boost kick, and it just goes. Oh, that's freaking awesome. This car is fast. And it sounds amazing too. Like this 2.9 liter V6 sounds pure. Really pretty sounding V6, I must say. A similar V6 that I've seen was the Alfa Romeos. I don't know how to pronounce it, like Quadrifoglio. Quadrifoglio, yeah. Those have the 2.9 liter V6 turbos too. I think those are twin turbo though. So I think that's why it makes a little bit more power. Yeah, those, I think it's a twin turbo. This is a single turbo. And you get the dual clutch farts, DSG farts as usual. Gotta love that. Coming from a German guy, Dan, that's my favorite thing. I don't know why we like that sound so much, but we do. It's very odd, but it's...
Especially on the Volkswagen Group products.
Oh, yeah. Like, my car is crazy when you get on it. Not only does it pop, it farts like crazy. And I'm just like obsessed with the sound. It's just so... It's funny, but it's like different. Because you don't hear that everywhere. Because even BMWs, they're dual clutches, but they don't really fart that much. They have like little tiny like puffs when you shift them. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was pretty nice. So we've almost completed 1 lap in this, and I will say it sounds really nice. It handles really nice. I like the little like factory lag that it has. Like, it makes you want to build it, which I like. I like the factor that like, oh, it makes me want to tune it, because what's it like without that little bit of lag that it has? But it's also, when you build boost, you have so much power, and I think it feels, I wouldn't say perfect compared to some other cars, so now that I'm experienced in driving some other cars, I kind of can have like a real deal opinion on it. So instead of being like, oh, every car I drive is perfect, I would not say this car is perfect. Absolutely not, by any stretch. And I want to be honest with, you know, everybody on YouTube and everything, because I feel like sometimes I'm a little, like, I almost feel like I'm like, oh, I feel like it's perfect because it's like a performance car. It's not always perfect, but I will say it is a beautiful car. And it's one of those cars that's not for everybody, but it's for some people. And that's just more driving aspect. Like, if you look at the way the car looks, I mean, it's one of the prettiest looking, you know, what, Sportbacks, or, you know, you can get the coupe version. It's one of the prettiest looking ones. Like, I would say, you know, the lag's probably the only thing I was not expecting in this, but there's nothing wrong with it at the end of the day either. You know, that's all personal opinion when it comes to driving. I personally would tune this car immediately to get rid of that, like I had to do with my car. And another thing, not a fan of the steering wheel. So there's another con for you. Like I said, I don't usually have many when it comes to the performance cars, you know, because it's like, oh, you're paying 60, 70 grand, but there are flaws in all of them, you know, and I would say...
No car's perfect, really.
Right, no car's really perfect.
They can be close. But...
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure, they can definitely be close. But, like, I think this car should still have the flat bottom steering wheel like the older RS5s had, the V8s. I think the steering wheels looked amazing, and they felt amazing, you know. But I would have thought for 445, I thought I would be thrown back a little bit more, but it definitely is exhilarating. Like, wow. Yeah, that was just like quick, like 40% throttle. This car will probably not throw you factory as much as you may think it is, because, you know, you look at 450 horsepower and you think, oh, that thing's gonna throw me. Not always necessarily. You have to factor in turbo lag and, you know, the drivetrain and everything, right? Because this is all-wheel drive, this model, I believe. Yeah, I think they have, that was an S4. And that's the supercharged ones. Those are the best ones. Oh, yeah. This car is faster than the newer S4s, but the newer S4s are quicker off the line. Yeah, that's what I've noticed, because I never drove one of those, but I've driven, my friend actually drove one of those. But I've driven the newer ones, and they're quicker off the line. But as you're going, they kind of slow down a little bit, while this car is not as quick off the line. I mean, I could try to maybe punch it if I get a chance.
It must be a manual.
It must be a manual, huh? That's actually really cool, I'm not gonna lie. And you don't see many of the supercharged manuals either. That's definitely different. Wow, that's a big sunroof. I'm not gonna lie. That's good size. Well, goodbye to the manual S4. That was about 80% throttle right off the bat, but I stopped because we're in a slower zone. I can try to do 100 and see what I got as we gain speed here and see how we feel. So we won't get off the launch, but here we go. Ready? Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's fast. I think I gave 100 in the Audi S4 too. Okay, so that feels quick. Shifts a slight, like a tad bit slower, I'm noticing too. But like for the most part, yeah, it feels roughly the same. Throw you back enough?
Yeah, a few minutes.
I feel like the M2 did a little bit more.
Yeah.
Almost, I don't know about your opinion on it.
The power delivery was different.
Yeah, it's the delivery. That's a good word for it. Yeah, that's what that's perfect. Yep.
The M2 was a little more aggressive.
Yeah. This is more like that's just straight power.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of like pushed a little bit, but you're not like, you know, we were kind of like just sagging off like this, and we were like, okay, like the joltiness and the aggressiveness really pushed you, really pulled you back. But yeah, power delivery. That's a perfect way to explain kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I haven't used X6M right now. That's the closest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Better. Oh yeah. This is actually because I can downshift and do a little. Look up, you look down, you're going 50. I'm like, jeez. These cars are the definition of like you need hard brakes. Like you gotta brake hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my car can get pretty fast at times, but you know, I don't need to hard brake all the time, you know? These cars are definitely a hard brake. That was probably the loudest pops we've heard. That's a good chance to kind of feel how it is in dynamic around some of the corners and stuff.
It's like suspension and wheels.
Oh yeah, it's all insane, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, we got some corners here. Oh yeah, and there's the pond. That's awesome. What are we in New Hampshire? Because New Hampshire, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's why we took our cars up there, because in the vlog we were just going in and out and just downshifting and then up, you know, doing like crazy pulls outside of the turns like this and just hear the pops and the bangs, and it was just so much fun. But yeah, this is a nice road. Heck yeah. Holy cow. It tugs you. Now that I'm starting to get comfortable with it, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll keep it in third. Thumbs up. I gave it a, rate it out of 10, huh? 7.5. I think that's a solid number. 7.5 out of 10. I think the M2 is a 9. That was, yeah. We're gonna give it an 8 after that one. That was nice. Yeah, that was a nice pull. We'll give it an 8. We'll give it an 8. Yeah, I usually slow down immediately as soon as I do pulls anyway, but yeah. No, thanks for the warning. I appreciate it. All right, boys, so right here is where we had an audio mishap. So I'm just gonna kind of explain a little bit of like what I was kind of talking about here. So I'm showing the overview of the outside of the car. It's the only time you see it in the video. And I was basically saying I really like the look of the Sportback over the coupe because I like the fact that it kind of has like a hatchback, kind of like the GTI. So it kind of shows it has like almost like a hatchback and not just like a normal sedan trunk, and I actually appreciated that. Messed with that a lot. That was awesome. And then I kind of just went on and said I would buy this because of this. I love this car. This is the 2.9 liter V6 TFSI producing 444 horsepower, all-wheel drive. I also said those coil packs were in a difficult spot. That's going to be fun to change. And then the intake is right there. All that kind of fun stuff in the motor. There it is there. Kind of show you guys a little bit of what the car looked like on the outside. If you haven't seen what the car looks like, I always do an overview as always. But with that being said, let's get back to the rest of the video. Whew, okay, reaction after the drive. I love the car. Would I buy it? Yes. Why did I not rate it a 10 out of 10? Well, there is flaws. There's flaws with a lot of cars, and I think this car has a little bit of lag. and it does need to be fixed. I definitely need to tune it, definitely need to add an exhaust to it, although it's got some pretty damn good stock sound. So I definitely need to add a little bit, but it does sound pretty good. It's got a little bit of burbles factory, which is something you expect out of a performance type car with over 400 horsepower. I expect a little bit of burbles, expect a little bit of exhaust sound. The newer RS3s gave me practically nothing. I was a little upset about that, but this one gave me something, so I give it that. Steering wheel I don't like. The lag's kind of iffy. It's not really a handler's car. Like it handles okay, but it's not meant for handling. You know, it's not like it'll tug a little bit, but it's not, you know, maybe we could take this on the track and see what it's like if I did ever get it. But at the same time, it's not really meant for that. It's more of a daily driver, and it's more like if we get the Golf R, we'll take that on the track, we'll rip it, we'll throw some beautiful rally wheels on it or something. We'll have fun with that and we'll take it. So that's why I'm still leaning towards that Golf R. But this car is so good, and I honestly miss driving it. Like, it's so bad I want to drive it right now, and I can't anymore, but I want to drive it again so bad. Like, this car was a pleasure to drive. And I might make a post on this too on YouTube, so you guys can kind of vote on the post. But would you enjoy this car on the channel? And I'm gonna do like a 2-option thing. Would you rather see a Mark 8 Golf R, or would you rather see I believe this is a B9 Audi RS5? But yeah, let me know in the comments. I will make a poll of this too, so definitely make sure to go check that out within the next day or two of this posting, of this video posting, and definitely check out and vote if you would rather see a RS5 or a Mark 8 Golf R. I'm still personally leaning towards a Mark 8 Golf R. Both the same price, it doesn't really matter on that. Much more content coming soon. We're trying to figure out some stuff with some content. It's why it's been kind of slow the last couple weeks, but stay tuned, it's coming. Shorts have been coming out lately. Stay tuned to the YouTube Shorts. I'll always be posting at least once or twice a week. And boys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and a little bell next to it so you get notifications whenever I post videos. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out, boys.